I'm gonna get so much judgment, I can just see it coming. Hey, it's Mel, I hope you're doing well. Today's video is going to be a trip down memory lane, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about my childhood street that I grew up on in Salford. I no longer live in Salford anymore. Compared to my childhood street and where I live now, it's completely different, okay? Now, I lived on this street from age 2 to 10. Now, before we continue, I'm going to say this once, okay? I don't want to see any comments of people judging my parents or the decisions they made. I don't want to see any of those comments, and if I see them, I'm just going to delete them, because my parents did the best with what they had, and I admit this right now, that the street was really rough. Living on the street made me have rough skin. It taught me to stand up for myself, and I also should admit that I am worried about making this video, because there's a thought of mine, like, what if one of my friend's parents see this and think, oh my god, she came from such a rough street, like, that's bad influence steaming ahead. And I'm a bad influence sometimes, okay? Not all the time. Let's get into the layout of the street. This street was very long. My house was located kind of towards the end where you would exit it, and there was only one exit point off this street. Behind my street there was a long stretching brick road, and a portion of that road had been smashed, and that's because many people, mainly men, would drunk drive, and purposefully or not, whatever the case may be, they'd always ram their car into the brick wall. There was a lot of theft going on. There'd be people on this street who, instead of buying deck chairs to watch the sunset or whatever they wanted to do, they wouldn't just get a nice deck chair and watch the sunset. No, they'd bring their entire couch out of their house onto their front garden to watch the sunset or to watch their kids, okay? Bear in mind that there was also a lot of drug users. There was mums who had young kids who were drug users. Thank God my mum and dad, they were good parents, okay? I should have said this before, but at this point in time, there was just me and my twin brother and my mum and dad. My two younger brothers were not born yet. I do have 3 brothers, but at this point it was just me and my twin. And also there was sex workers on my street, there was theft. People knew people, okay? Not so far as gangs, but like, if you wanted someone to get beat, you just call up a guy. And no, bitch, goodbye. Also, no matter what time of the day it was, no matter if it was a school night, there was always a party going on in someone's house, okay? It was like Party City. Behind my street, where that long brick wall was, remember me telling you about the long brick wall where people would drunk drive and smash a portion of the wall to pieces? Yeah, if you were to exit my street and just look to your left, there's the long stretching brick wall, and that was actually a drug drop-off point. Now, with all this being said, you're probably wondering, like, why in the hell did you live there? Why didn't your mum and dad move out? Well, the main reason that my mum and dad chose to live there for a long period of time was because there was my uncle, auntie, nana, granddad, like, there was so many of my family members living on the street. We all had each other's back, okay? So that's why we stayed there for. I was never in any real danger apart from one time where someone, a kid on my street, threw a rock at me. I'm not just talking like a small smooth pebble, I'm talking like a big feckin' rock. I was walking it, I had my back turned to this person. I was walking to the shop with like 1 or 2 of my friends, and this corner shop, by the way, it was located behind my street at the end of the brick wall. Bear in mind that around this time, my disability was not as severe as it is now. If anyone's lost, I'll link my disability video down below. But I had my back turned to this person and we were walking to the shop, and all of a sudden I felt something heavy like hit my shoulder. And I just turn around and I'm like, did someone just throw something at me? One of the male kids, who was a couple of years older than me at the time, he threw a rock at me, and I knew him. He just threw a rock at me and laughed and left. Apart from getting like a rock thrown at me, I was never in any real danger. And the rock gave me like a little scratch, like a graze, but that's it, okay? I'm not trying to sound dramatic, but anything and everything bad that you can think of happened on this street. Not like sexual abuse or murder. Those didn't happen on my street, okay? Not that toxic. But also, speaking of the word toxic, there were some toxic people who would spread gossip about others. There was always drama. I'll say this, the street was not boring, okay? There was not a normal peaceful day on this street. There was always some drama going on. There was people robbing shopping carts from shops. There'd be someone setting an arson not far from my street. There'd be police on my street 4 times out of the week. I am not playing, okay? I'd be out in the back garden playing Barbies or some shit, and I'd just hear police cars, and it's fine. I was used to it. The one rule on this street that you did not break is no snitching. You don't snitch on anyone. You don't do that. If you see something sketchy going on, you act like you didn't saw it and you kept your mouth shut. That is something I learned on that street very quickly growing up. I'm not a snitch. I can't stand people who are snitches. There's going to be parents watching this video thinking, why would you raise your kid on that street if there's sex workers, drug users, alcoholics, abuse, not to mention, you know, people drunk driving? Like, it seems like a toxic street. Yeah, it may seem toxic, but when you live there for long periods of time, you kind of get used to shit. To me, it was fine. Like, I wasn't in any danger. If you thought your business was just your business living on the street, you're wrong, because everyone knew everyone's business. Bear in mind that I was also getting severely bullied by one of my classmates in school. His name was Callum. I'm gonna hide his name. He's a piece of shit. I'd do anything to get out of school. I'd fake being sick. Another awful primary school, a lot of drama going on in the street, and eventually it got to the point where my mum was like, we're getting our shit and we're out. Okay, we're buying a house, we're out. Fast forward to when I was 9, about to be 10, I think. I'm at school, it's the end of the day, but instead of going into the car, my mum is holding a cardboard box, goes into the head teacher's office, puts the box on her desk and says, I want my daughter and my son's work, puts it in the cardboard box, have a nice life, bye. Teachers at this school were also awful, half of them just didn't even do their damn job. Next thing I know, my mum's holding this box, exits the school, gets into the car, and I see in the back of the car there's so much boxes, and that's when my mum tells me that we're moving streets. So I had mixed emotions, if I'm being honest, but 80% of me was happy, because I didn't have to put up with Callum bullying me. I didn't have to put up with drama. I was out, okay? We ended up moving to Sale. Now, I don't live in Sale. Over the years, me and my family have moved quite a bit, and once we moved out, I also switched schools. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole entire story of my rough AF street that I lived on. But I'm gonna go now, probably have a coffee, because it is literally 10 in the morning. I have been awake since 8 AM filming 2 videos. By the way, if I look the same, like wearing the same stuff in my other videos, that's because I film everything on one day and then upload them throughout the week. So just get used to what I'm wearing, okay? Thank you for watching. Have a good day. I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye.